Good morning, amigos of Ahora. See, today we are at 9200 Academy Road at the Loza Law Firm, and we are here with all the attorneys who may be representing you one day. And so here next to me is Daniel Loza.
Hello, Marilyn. It's always a pleasure having Ahora at the office. We are with our law team, Mr. Joe Diorio on your right, and Michael Lepinski on my left.
And so you have a great team of people who have experience. We'll talk to each one of them shortly. But tell me about some of the services that you do personally here at the law firm.
Okay, the law firm, we have a broad service of law. We cover immigration, we cover bankruptcy law, we cover real estate law, we cover family law, debt collectors, we cover criminal law, we do commercial and business law. We support the real estate office, we do real estate transactions as well. Joe has a broad experience on bankruptcy and commercial law, as well as Michael.
Mm-hmm. And for the side that you do immigration. I know there's a lot of changes with immigration these days. What's some of the things that people who are thinking about coming to get services should know, especially with all the laws that are being changed right now?
Immigration. Really, if I don't want to be legal in this climate. If I have a situation here and not totally documented, I will try to find a way to get some sort of legal status in the country, even by asylum, or even by a family petition, or a work petition, or a study petition. There's several petitions that we can do to the immigration system that will give you a path to a green card and eventually a path to naturalization. Besides that, I do real estate, which is my bread and butter. I've been doing real estate. To be quite honest, I've been doing real estate since 1982 in Argentina. I'm also an attorney in Argentina, and I have a firm in there in Buenos Aires. And I've been doing real estate law since I'm 22 years old. Here I became a realtor first, and then I became an attorney, and I focus my business in real estate practice. And I represent like 12 different real estate offices and probably between 50 to 60 real estate agents who send me their business.
And some people might ask, why we need a lawyer for real estate? Why we do need a lawyer when it comes to real estate?
Okay, even though the agents in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, they are quite educated in real estate practice, there's always that degree of knowledge that they lack. The agreement of sale, which is basically the document they use in the real estate transaction, is part of contract law. Mm-hmm. So it's a little portion of the broad study of law. So when an attorney take a look on an issue or on a transaction, on a situation, our view is totally broad. From the commercial transaction perspective, the real estate practice, so we get to an analysis which is much broader than the analysis that the real estate agent can arrive. The knowledge is basically in the 24, 25 provisions on the agreement of sale, and the continued education that they did within the years, more than the practice than the formal education. But eventually, when they have a situation, they have a problem in the transaction, they have to go to an attorney. It's impossible for figure it out.
Give me one perfect example of a time where a person would need a lawyer in the real estate.
Many moments on the transaction. If I may, and be honest with, I have more than 1,500. I closed more than 1,500 houses, transactions in my life. To be honest, I will go to an attorney to review the agreement of sale, the very beginning of the transaction, when you prepare the offer. Because once you sign that offer and the seller signed that offer, it became a contract. That's the agreement of sale. Another mutual obligations, duties and obligations they had to perform. So if you have an attorney, take a look on that agreement of sale. Will save you a lot of problems in the transaction. Later on, when there is a dispute on, most of the people do home inspections, termite inspections, and there is a dispute on whether moving forward or not moving forward transaction, an attorney will give a lot of light whether to terminate the agreement of sale or not terminate the agreement of sale. Also, when you have a situation with the mortgage company, many of our buyers get pre-approved first and they do a full application, but something can happen during the transaction. They may lose their job, or they get divorced, or they separate, so that financing will not be approved. So you're gonna need an attorney to help you to get your money back.
Okay, very interesting. For the side of the criminal side, we have here representing Joseph Diorio. Joseph had mentioned that he has been in business for over 30 years.
I was first admitted to the bar of the state of Pennsylvania in 1988. Also, I'm a member of the New Jersey State Bar and all the federal courts, including the U.S. Third Circuit Court of Appeals.
Great. And what are some of the things that you do here in the office represented?
We do, at least my practice is to help the real estate practice with any problems that they may have, first and foremost. But I've been practicing the area of bankruptcy and corporate reorganization since 1988 and have over 3,000 cases under my belt. I've practiced criminal law, white-collar criminal law in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, and also in the Eastern District of the District of New Jersey. The thing I love doing the most, though, is the claims under the Federal Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, which is a consumer protection law which helps to protect consumers from collection agencies. Mm-hmm. Collection agencies, while I've represented them, can be very difficult to deal with. And unless you have some guidance and some help, they could really make your life miserable.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. And so for the people who are thinking, maybe when they hear the word bankruptcy, they say, "Oh my God, my life is over, my credit." When do you take that decision to go on bankruptcy, or is it really good going on bankruptcy?
Well, it all depends upon the facts of the case. I like to analogize my role almost as a financial cancer doctor. Cancer and debt have similar characteristics. The longer that they stay, the bigger that they grow, and the more painful, either economically or physically, it becomes. Now, my job is to get rid of debt when I'm the debtor's counsel. It depends upon the kind and type of debt. There are certain kinds of debts which no one can get rid of, except for things called undue hardship, and that's student loans. Mm-hmm. Today, there's so much money in student loans, over $1 trillion of defaulted student loans, and I think that's the next big crisis coming up. The thing I like to do the most in the bankruptcy area is Chapter 11 reorganizations.
And for what I understand, it's different chapters in bankruptcy.
Yes.
So people don't even have to do a whole bankruptcy. Maybe they could do it in different chapters.
Well, it's like selecting a tool from a toolbox. There's chapters 7, 11, and 13. When it comes to individuals and consumers, chapter 7 and chapter 13 are the most frequently used tools, at least that I use. Chapter 7 is a liquidation, in which a trustee is appointed and they will liquidate non-exempt assets. Now that's very important. Non-exempt, I exempt using the exemptions found in the bankruptcy code to save people's assets from being lost in a bankruptcy. That is removing the financial tumor, all right, and having the client get some immediate relief. And it's often right away, almost the day of the filing of the case. The court issues a order called the automatic stay, and that gives people immediate relief. And I've had plenty of people come back and smile and say, "Thank you, thank you. You really gave us a lot of peace of mind."
And when you made that connection, or that when you said having that is like having cancer, it's kind of true, because people can actually go stressed out, going to sleep thinking about how I'm going to pay this debt, because maybe they lost their job, maybe they got sick and they can't work no more. So they still have those collectors after them.
Yes, they do. And more than one time, people have fallen sick, literally physically sick. And I had one person hurt himself very badly because he was so depressed at the amount of debt that he had. The other chapter is chapter 13, which is a repayment plan. It can last anywhere from 3 to 5 years, and that provides a troubled consumer with the greatest flexibility when you're looking for bankruptcy relief.
And so tell me a bit about that chapter. For what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, if you have a property, can you go on chapter 13?
That's when it's used the most, in fact. When someone goes into foreclosure, the bankruptcy code allows them up to 5 years to catch up on their mortgage by paying a fraction of the late payments to a person called a Chapter 13 trustee. And they have to maintain regular mortgage payments. And we've had a lot of success with that, a lot of success.
And that's very interesting. And then for working with Daniel here, if someone has a Chapter 13, can they buy a home after that?
They can, under certain circumstances, they can get credit to enable to purchase a home. It requires permission from the bankruptcy court and the consent of the Chapter 13 trustee. Most times when people are coming for new credit, when they're buying a new car, their car is done and they need to get to work, and for the plan to succeed, there has to be wages coming in. So plenty of times we've asked for permission to buy a new car.
And I'm sure you have any of those cases, Daniel.
Yes, many. I was listening carefully what Joe was saying. Also, after a foreclosure situation, a short sale situation, as well as the bankruptcy transactions, within different periods of time, you're gonna be able to get a new mortgage under the FHA, Federal Housing Administration guidelines. Someone requires 1 year, 2, 3, 4, but besides that, we have several lenders which are non-conforming lenders that they will lend you money to buy a new house even sooner than that.
So what is the time frame that you guys recommend by the law, someone that went to bankruptcy to buy a home again?
There's several banks that do non-conforming loans. They require 12 months after the discharge of the bankruptcy, 12 months. They would like to have some credit. They use alternative credit like bank statements, insurance payment. So you have credit cards, so they can build your credit to a certain point. And of course, they're going to require a little more down payment, usually between the 20 to 25% down payment, and a little bit high interest rate. Not that much. It's a little bit higher, probably 5% instead of 4. But you're gonna be able to buy a house, yes.
And the reason why I'm asking this question is because I'm pretty sure that we have viewers out there that probably might have gone through bankruptcy, and they say, well, I can't get a home, I can't get this, I can't get that because I went to bankruptcy. Maybe they're not informed. And so if they have any questions, can they come here and consult you?
They can call here in the office. The phone number is 215-965-9700. We are located at 9200 Academy Road, Philadelphia, PA 19114. You can find us in Facebook, Loza Law Firm. Very easy and very accessible by email, daniel@lozalaw.com. Any question, you can come in or give us a call. Joe here, Mike, me, anybody can.
Yeah, we've had plenty of people who have walked into and knocked on our door.
Yeah.
And we always try to make ourselves available because there's nothing that will drive business towards us when good, excellent customer service.
That is great. And also with us to talk about some of the services here is Michael Lipinski. I want to say your name correctly.
Yeah, you got it.
And Michael, so what are some of the services that you provide or the clients that you serve?
I do a lot of the writing in the office for now. In the past, I've actually represented creditors in collections cases, so I know what it takes to win a collection case and maybe help some of these people out of some of this credit card debt that they have. I also have bankruptcy experience under Joe, Chapter 7 and 13 and a little bit of 11, as well as some immigration experience. I've actually gone down with clients at other firms down to USCIS and helped them with their citizenship tests. I've put together applications for asylum, and I've got enough immigration experience that I feel I can serve some of these people coming over.
Michael is a young fellow, but he has a strong experience. He has strong experience. He's a very good researcher, a very good writer, and he can make a brief shine like nothing.
Absolutely.
And that's very, very important because nowadays, when, like he mentioned, well, also with the loans, school loans, it can be very overwhelming. And if someone thinking about buying a home or just fixing the credit period, they can come see you.
Yes, thank you. Sure.
And that is very great. What's some of the things that people should know about credit if they don't have credit? Before they get credit, let's say like a credit card, what some of the advice that you might give to a person, especially a young person?
Some advice before getting into credit?
Yes.
Make sure you have means to pay it back because it can pile up fast, especially if you charge things up and then you just let them go. It can pile up fast and then you'll find yourself needing either myself or even Joe. And also try to actually read through some of the documents. I know that the credit card agreements are long and boring, but there's important stuff in there that they need to look at.
And I know for the young generation or even the older generation, I might say, they might get a credit card offer in the mail and they say, oh great, I need it for my next vacation, let's charge it out. And like you say, read the small print.
Yeah, read the fine print, make sure you'll be able to make the payments because you don't want to be stuck with another bill that you have to worry about paying.
And so we have a lot of these creditors or credit cards that say, we'll give you 5% if you buy groceries on this day. Is that something really good to do?
It's good if you know that you can charge it and then make the payment so that you're essentially getting free money. They're counting on people not being able to do that, charging more than they can pay, and then carrying a balance that slowly grows and grows, and then you're stuck with $5,000 in credit card debt that you didn't have before.
Basically, what Mike's saying that before you get into debt, you have to educate yourself. Education is the key. The more that you know, the less mistake that you make. Also, you can come into the office. You have any questions about credit, about restarting the credit, about creating credit. Mike, Joe, me, we can be here for you.
And thank you so much for this time with the lawyers here at the Loza Firm.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.